Today, our cameras went to the Appalachian Life Enrichment and Counseling Center, 207 Fairmont Avenue, for their ribbon-cutting ceremony. While there, we briefly visited inside the Makeover Center. Today, we'll watch the ribbon-cutting ceremony with Executive Director Tina Shaw of the Marion County Chamber of Commerce. We then took time to visit with and talk to Dr. Jude Black, CEO and President, and Clinical Coordinator Kiley Brescoach. We invite you now to stay tuned for the program and the great services they offer, as we invite you to visit their website for additional information.
That's good. Okay. So, on behalf of the Marion County Chamber, I would like to welcome everybody to our ribbon cutting. This is our second ribbon cutting for Appalachian. We are so thrilled because now you've moved into a bigger, larger facility, and you are growing by leaps and bounds, what I understand. And it is wonderful. We're happy to be here, and we're happy to be able to provide you with such a beautiful day.
Yes,
I pray
absolutely.
For this. So, Jude Black, owner, I'll let her talk a few minutes.
Okay, and I got to look around and see who all's here. And forgive me if I stumble. I don't think I'm going to miss anybody. I've got my notes, but I don't have my old lady eyes on today. Okay, so what I kind of wanted to do is I want to welcome everybody for coming. There are so many people here, and hopefully throughout this little story, I'm going to hit everyone. Linda, thank you so much for coming. Tom, thank you for coming. The Chamber, thank you guys for coming. Friends and family, thank you guys so much, especially the staff, because that's all I can say. I'm not going to cry during this. I wanted to talk about connections, and that's why I looked around. I want you guys to kind of take a peek, look around just for a quick minute. The definition of a connection is a relationship in which a person, place, or idea is linked or associated with something. And I want to challenge you to be in Fairmont and not find a connection. I think it's virtually impossible. Vibrant, successful communities are built through healthy, supportive relationships, and it only takes one connection. And that's what I want to talk about just really, really briefly, is the connections. I'm the granddaughter of a West Virginia coal miner. My mother was born in Rachel with multiple sisters and a little brother. So there's connections there. Tom has a connection with my family. You're from the Manning. There's connections everywhere we look. I'd come here in the summers to spend time with my Aunt Bobby. That's my mom's closest. And one summer I decided that I wasn't going back to Chicago. Because that's where I was raised. I wasn't raised here. And so I disenrolled from school in Chicago, enrolled here at Fairmont State, and got a full ride scholarship because this one that's kind of talking over here had an issue with it. I put myself through school and I graduated. Through that time, I met this guy named Vince Libinati that became a very good friend of mine. And Vince also had a good friend named Bill Black. Bill Black became my husband. So after college, we married. We traveled the world. We had 66 months apart. We had 19 moves. This was our 19th move. All three of our boys, Tyler and Jesse and Brady's in Northern Virginia, were born in different zip codes. Through that time in the military, we met the Woods, Leslie and Jerry Wood, and we met Kathy out in Fort Riley. And Inez, I keep saying Inez, she was my college best friend. So here's some of the connections that are coming full circle for someone that wasn't raised here. About 5 years ago, I lost my brother. And so my dad had a lot of heart issues after that. My husband retired from the Pentagon. We moved back here. And my husband and I were working for WVU, and we were welcomed by so many friends in this area that we met through the Hills, through the Libinatis. After being at WVU for about a year, I decided that I wanted something different. I wanted a place that people, and I talked about this 2 years ago, I wanted a place that people could come, have a cup of coffee, and work through messy stuff without feeling like they were broken in a clinic. And that's where up on the corner Appalachian 1 started. And that started with me, and then we added Kiley, and we added Tia, Brianna, our intern, came on, and we also had Heather. We maxed out that place in less than 6 months. And so we started looking around for something new. We found this place. And this place started with party of one and 2 men called 2 hammered colonels, which would be this colonel, retired, and Leslie's husband, retired. And Leslie would come, Inez would come. Is Jerry here? Oh, I didn't see you peek in there. Hello. And the Libanatis would come, the staff would come. We would strip down wallpaper, we would paint, we replaced flooring, we moved things in there. All of the people that helped us create this place, they were local. Vera Sansalone was our realtor. She found places that I didn't even know existed. Our electrical work was local. We really tried to keep those connections within Fairmont. And then COVID hit when we were supposed to open. And so what we did is we shifted. We had already started something that nobody had started in this area. When our clients came to us, when we first started on the corner, we offered them teletherapy. And no one had heard of it. It was a really foreign concept at that time. Our clients didn't miss a beat. They knew what to do. They stayed connected. We grew. And there's a couple things that I've skipped over here, and that's okay. Because I want to tell you, since COVID, what we've done, and these are the statistics I want you guys to kind of listen to and let sink in. During COVID, we had 8,000 sessions during COVID. We also integrated walk and talks, and what that was is when people were challenged with the technology, we would meet them out front and we would walk through town and work it out. We're having a 20% rate of growth each month. My entire team stayed employed. We've employed 18 people, paid positions. We've also grossed over $1.2 million. Okay? So over the last 2 years, here's a few more statistics. We went from 1 to 25 members. Okay? We have walked with over 1,000 West Virginians in Fairmont. We've completed 11. I mean, I'm just thinking, I'm choked up over this. This is Fairmont, you guys. And when I moved, people are telling me, why in the world would you go back to Fairmont? This is why we came back to Fairmont. Our first year, we did $30,000 worth of pro bono work for people in our community. Last year, we did $40,000 worth of pro bono work in our community. And what that means is it's pretty much free services by experts. We take Fairmont State students and we provide them internships. Interns, raise your hands. She wasn't Fairmont State, but you're Fairmont local, and she's also the daughter of my college mentor. So, and all of these girls are still in college. 2 of them are now in grad school for therapy. Let's see. I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. And with the team, raise your hand. Everyone on the team, raise your hand. Okay? We've really grown. It's family, it's friends, there's connections everywhere. And that's, I guess, my big story for everyone, is to take that minute, talk the story, look for a connection, because things like this happen when you try to make them happen and when you look for them. That's all I got.
Very good.
So I think Linda wants to say a few words.
Oh, thank you. Jude, I want to say thank you for all that you've done. I didn't realize how much you have done. With all the behalf of the Marion County Commission, we're so happy to have you here in Fairmont, because sometimes everyone needs someone to talk to, whether it's through grief, whether it's losing someone, anxiety, depression.
And then I'm going to put you on the spot. Mary Jo chairs the Chamber's Health, Safety, and Wellness Committee, so that plays right into everything that you do. And I don't know, Mary Jo, if you wanted to say
Thank
something.
you so much for all you've done for families, and wearing a couple of other hats as well as president of the Board of Education. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And President of the Alumni, thank you for helping our students, and thank you for coming home.
And then there's one last thing too. Oh, I want
I
you.
just want to say the city of Fairmont's very happy to have you here, and hopefully your 19th move is your last. There you go. Stick around
Thank
for a
you.
while.
I appreciate it.
Unless it's to a larger facility.
Well, and that's the one thing I didn't tell you. We do have more plans. We're looking for a second center because we've already outgrown this and we haven't opened the doors. We're going to be doing groups. Today, we were waiting for, starting next week on Thursdays, we'll have our soft opening where our clients will actually be coming in and meeting us. We'll have workshops. We've also opened a nonprofit that's a sister company of Appalachian Life called the Appalachian Trauma and Resiliency Center. To me, that's an exciting thing. We'll be providing education to first responders, law enforcement, military, and those in the trauma field. And we'll also be providing free counseling services for those in that field because that's a challenging field for the negative stigma to get help. And then we also have a sister company, I'm telling you, I'm wrapping this up, but I got a lot to say, called eTherapy Cafe. And what that company is we are 100% online. We are in every single state in the United States. It's all therapy. We've been in all countries except for Antarctica, and I got to figure that one out. And in late July, early August, we will be featured on ION and Bloomberg's World's Greatest Online Therapy Group. So we will be invaded by production to do some filming here in Fairmont. So we got good things going on here.
Greetings from Joe Manchin, United States Senator. On behalf of the citizens of the Mountain State and as your United States Senator, it is a privilege to join you in celebration of the grand reopening of Appalachian Life Enrichment Counseling Center. Since its inception, the team at Appalachian Life has conducted over 11,000 therapy sessions and provided $30,000 in pro bono therapy in 2019 and $40,000 in 2020. They created a nonprofit to provide free therapy and education and training to military, first responders, law enforcement, and those in the trauma field, and an online sub-company called eTherapy Cafe that won 6 national Best Online Therapy Awards. Especially during these challenging times, the value of this service has become priceless to countless families, and I thank each of you for all that you do. I truly appreciate the efforts of Dr. Jude and the counselors within Appalachian Life Enrichment. Thank you for your commitment to serve this special region and for making a positive difference in countless lives. Warmest regards, Joe Manchin.
So I'll count down from 3. Are you ready?
You got it.
3, 2, 1.
We do have light refreshments inside. Please feel free to come in, grab something all COVID friendly with balloons popping. Walk through the center, ask us questions, just enjoy yourself. Thank you guys for coming.
Tell us about why you decided to come to Fairmont, and what is the Appalachian Regional Counseling Center?
Well, I came to Fairmont to bring my father was ill, and I came back to Fairmont to get him closer to family and friends. Through the journey, we just saw a need in Fairmont, and we wanted to create a place that was very, very different from what was available, and that's how Appalachian came into place. I think it's really important because in Fairmont it really is all about the connections, and due to COVID we haven't marketed, and so many people don't know that we're here, but we are here. We've been seeing people. We're actually full. The ribbon cutting is just going to highlight that mental health is maybe mental wellness, and coming and talking with someone just allows you to carry your things a little bit differently so you can go out and do life without the struggles and actually maybe have some coping skills.
What are some of the major problems people are facing given COVID-19 and all the issues that are connected with it that your center is really working on and working for?
That's a good question. Anxiety is something that we're seeing a lot of. Adjustment disorders where you're so used to being connected out in the community and all of a sudden you're not. But then you are. And again, you're not. And so it's learning how to shift quickly and just that radical acceptance that this is life and what can I do. We're also seeing depression and some traumas that you might have felt like you dealt with in the past. They're popping up again because you have a lot of time by yourself.
I think that we've also seen a lot of grief, not with just losses of family members, friends, people that you know, but also losses of, what life was before COVID. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of things that might not go back to how they used to be.
But this is one solid thing, that it's not about me, it's about the other clinicians, it's about making sure that there's job stability, it's about changing perspectives, it's about giving people hope, which is the number one thing that we wanted for the trauma center and for the counseling center and for the other clinic, is to give people hope when they can't seem to find it themselves.
Both of you are graduates, I think, of Fairmont State.
Yes.
And I think that says a good deal about Fairmont State and the education that you received in order to go into the work here.
Absolutely, and our undergraduates are all from Fairmont State. We want to give back to our community.
So tell us about the walk and why you hit on that idea as being so significant.
Well, you know, walking is good for our physical well-being as well as our mental well-being. There's a lot of research that supports that. So, you know, if we can get people moving, a lot of times with things like depression, anxiety, they can be pretty debilitating and, you know, make people feel like they don't want to get out of bed. So, you know, we give them a reason to get out, something that, you know, afterwards they immediately feel better physically and mentally.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, as you're walking, you get distracted. And sometimes it's easier to talk when you're not so stuck in your head.
I think mental health is something that just touches us all, whether it's, you know, a family member, a friend, a teacher, you know, and in other ways, maybe a role model, a musician, someone you look up to. I think it just touches us, each and every one of us in some way, one way or another. So I think that's just our goal, to continue to, you know, spread awareness about that, help people with, you know, what they're struggling with.
I want to be in the community. You know, I want to be that go-to when people don't have answers. You know, come talk with us. Let's figure it out. I don't think that, and I think that's one of the things that we've really honed in on within the center. There's really not mistakes, it's learning lessons, and you can't mess up. We're going to figure it out. You know, it's, again, it's that shoulder shrug, what do I do now? And choose something and try it.
This is our dog. She does all the therapy.
You have another dog too, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
You have two dogs.
Yep.
I thought I read that.
Yeah.
We got a golden doodle and a border collie, complete opposites.
Yeah, night and day.
One's very energetic and the other is
She's very calm. Very comforting.
Well, what's her purpose here?
Her purpose, you know, just a friendly face. You know, a lot of times our clients, sometimes they come in and they can be a little resistant. It can be hard to talk about hard things. And, you know, there's a lot of research that supports that animals reduce anxiety overall. They have a lot of health benefits. So, you know, just sometimes her walking in the room can really lighten people up.
Hey, I wanted to ask you too, do you see any particular age group more than another? Are the, like, seniors more emphatic of coming in, or are the...
I'd say we have a good mix.
Okay.
It's hard for me to say. You know, I think each clinician specializes, you know, differently. Some prefer to work with younger adults or like college-related issues, things like that. And, you know, some see any age. Some have some geriatric training and such as well. So it's a balance.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's a